Hello, 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 hello. It's ASMR, 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 ASMR. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Leilei. That is So for today's video, we are going to be talking about books. I know that not all of you are interested in books, but if you are going to watch this, I hope that you still enjoy. Also just a soft speaking video, just to give this channel like sort of a break from my usual triggers, and also just because I want to talk about books. And I've already stumbled upon other channels who do the same, since I watch ASMR and book content, book videos a lot. I did see those two fuse into one by some other ASMR artists. I forgot their names, but yeah, who's to say we can't talk about books in ASMR videos? That's what we're gonna do. So let's get started with the books that I am currently reading. So my main read as of now is Beartown. I'm going to get the book cover. This is Beartown. Let me just trace it for you. We have a BEARTOW, and so that is Beartown. I just already know that this is going to be a 5-star read for me. I'm not even halfway through, but the writer does such a great job in making you connect with the characters. Like, even if there's so many of them, you don't really get confused because you see them like have these connections with each other. So it's just brilliant. You know, I even put a note here that like I feel like I'm watching a film just by how this author introduces the characters. So that's genius. I love it. I'm so excited to read more of Frederick Bachman's books. I actually have Us Against You, Anxious People, and A Man Called Uva. I am slow reading this one, and like really taking my time to read each line, underlining some parts, annotating them. I'm not sure if you can see it, but yeah, she's got some few thoughts. And since I am slow reading this one, I need to have another book alongside with that, a rom-com, a quicker read. Sometimes I need a break from Beartown. Not that it gets boring, but it's just I need a break from it. So I read You Deserve Each Other. They're a couple, they're already engaged, but they discover that they actually despise each other. Like, they hate each other. So they come up with all these schemes to make each other miserable, just so one of them gives up and calls off the marriage. You Deserve Each Other. YOUDESER. You want to hear the tracing sounds? VEEACHER. You Deserve Each Other. Okay, so some other books that I am technically currently reading but is sort of on hold. We have Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I don't think you can fast read this book. I mean, I guess it sort of defeats the purpose. This book has to have some impact on you, like if ever you really want to practice Stoicism. And also I am reading Conversations on Love. I am only on this part, so I'd say like 1/4. Basically, Natasha Lun, she interviews a bunch of people and they talk about love. Now onto the books that I have read. Probably let's do the whole thing. I'll start with the latest one up to the very first one. Sharp Objects. I gave this a 3.75. Pretty disturbing. I mean, I guess it's the whole purpose. No one is likable in this book. Literally all the characters make you go, what the fuck. The Picture of Dorian Gray, 4.25. I think it's a 4.25. Yeah. I guess a few of you are already familiar with this. It's a classic. My very first take on classic, I guess, which has been recommended a lot. Just a guy who is very narcissistic. You can watch 500 more analysis videos on this book to better explain it. But what I felt is I was so intrigued. I loved listening to their conversations, no matter how problematic they are and no matter how problematic the characters are. Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. We have a DARKMATTER. So that is Dark Matter. It's a sci-fi book. I put some notes and I put some tabs. I really love this book. I'll just read a quick note that I put. This will make me even more sentimental and introspective on everything. Like, it tells you about all the possible choices that you could make in your life. And whenever you read this book, I don't want to spoil it for you, but it makes you think about, if you really want to do something, just do it. It makes you think about your life choices and how one choice can lead to another, and how you could regret some things and wish other things could have happened, but you're left with this choice and you have to live with it. I also read One True Loves and After I Do. One True Loves was a 4.5 and After I Do is a 2.75. Just didn't enjoy it. One True Loves was so good. It gave me so many quotes. Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is a 4-star read. 4 stars. I guess 4.25. It was pretty good. But you feel for the main character, Nina Riva. She's a very well-written character for me. Love in Other Words, Love in Other Words, Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. Love in Other Words. This was gifted to me by my cousin, so thank you to you. I read this like September. It's a good way to start the Burr months. It was such a cozy read. I also put a note: Friends to Lovers, Slow Burn, Miscommunication Done Well, Small Town, Autumny Vibes, Book Nerds, Lovable Characters. Mwah, amazing. And then the infamous Alone with You in the Ether, 5-star read. Again, I don't think I'll find anything similar in the next few years. Hopefully I can. The plot is technically non-existent. It's just really about the characters and the way they think and all their conversations. Dude, like the conversations they have, you'd feel like you're just listening to a podcast. They're such flawed characters, and the way they think is not always the most comprehensible. You can't skim through parts because you miss a paragraph, you miss the whole thing. This is not your typical fiction. It is literary fiction times 500. Also, this book cover is already sold out. Like, they're not printing it anymore. So I'm pretty lucky to have this because I pre-ordered it April, I think. So that was such a good choice. I'd put that in one of the best decisions I've made in my life. The next read, I read it on my Kindle. It is called Project Hail Mary. I gave it 6 stars. 6 stars if that's possible, because it has become one of my favorite books ever. I already mentioned it in another video, I think. I'll just read a few of my thoughts. I can't even stop getting goosebumps right now. This was literally after I read it. I just found myself a new favorite book. Everything about this book was perfect. The plot, the writing, the characters, 10 out of 10, chef's kiss. This was so comedic as well. This book is forever cherished. It is a sci-fi about this guy who wakes up in a spaceship and he doesn't remember anything. Like, he doesn't know why he's there. He doesn't remember what he's supposed to do. You're going to unravel everything that he has to know at the same pace as him. You were liars. If you want to buy this book, please hit me up because I really want to sell this. This was a 3-star read. The plot twist at the end was... oh, the plot twist makes sense. Bye. And then There Were None by Agatha Christie, 4 stars. It was really smart. I enjoyed it and I read it in like 2 days, I think. Verity, again, plot was so good. I was really hooked. The ending gave me shivers. I love Colleen Hoover. She's a great writer. I know that she's just very controversial, but whatever. Who cares about my opinion anyway? I'd say though that this is very 18 plus, so don't read this if you're younger than that. Please don't do that to yourself. Ta-da! On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. I think I'm gonna read one quote that I love. They say nothing lasts forever, but they're just scared it will last longer than they can love it. Like, what the heck? How could you have thought of that? Boom. I read the biggest book talk books. It Ends With Us and The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Both of them were 5-star reads. Like, look at that. Look at that. I read Normal People, which I also don't have right now because I sold it because I did not like it. Okay, no hate or whatever. It's just, it wasn't for me. I didn't feel anything for the characters. I even slow read that one in hopes of understanding it more. I rated it 2 stars or 1.75. Okay, so my first take on fantasy is An Ember in the Ashes. This was really enjoyable. I read the next book. No, actually I didn't read it since I am still like 1/4 in and it has been on hold for the longest time because I didn't feel like reading fantasy. Is it just me? Or she hasn't been making ASMR triggers and just been rambling about books for the past minutes? Yep. So I read these 3. Such a great read. This one was 4.5, 5 stars, and 5 stars. My favorite was the second book. From the first page of the first book up to the last page of the last book, everything is connected. Everything just is a perfect circle. It's such a satisfying ending. Like, everyone, not everyone, but most of the characters got what they deserved. And I'm so happy with that. As promised, the tapping. ITENDSWITHUS. It ends with us. It ends with us. It ends with us. And when you see this actual line in the book, it's gonna break your heart. Someone Who Will Love You in All Your Damage Story. A collection of short stories. My favorites are short stories, Misconnection, for MW, Lies We Told Each Other, A Partial List, These Are Facts, Lunch with a Person Who Dumped You, Rules for Taboo. I loved Rules for Taboo. Up and Comers, The Average of All Possible Things, and we will close on Friday, July 18. Give this one a try. It's a very quick read, lighthearted, but at the same time, it has some effect on you. Like, it makes you kind of think about things and introspect a bit, and it will touch you emotionally at some point. Next, we have Kim Ji-young, born 1982. So much commentary on the lives of women, and it's so sad to see these things prevail up until now. Like, obviously it's rooted from the olden times, but you'd see that glimpse of those experiences that obviously shouldn't be happening right now is still happening right now. November 9 was 5 stars, but towards like with more thinking, I guess it's just 4. For the first half, I was so mad at Ben. Like, the reason why I had to I stopped reading this for like 2 months, because halfway in I was like, Ben's weird. But then the other half kind of picked it up a bit. I guess like at the end, still a problematic character, but during the time that I was reading it, or like after I read it, I felt like it was a 5 stars. So yeah. Ugly Love. I enjoyed this one. I don't really have much to say, but I was pretty hooked and was eaten up their story. The last few chapters were shattering my heart. Tate and Miles, you're kinda dumb, but I love you both. I do acknowledge that both of these characters are very dumb, but it was fun. It was a fun read. Silent Patient was 5 stars. The plot twist was really good, but like if it weren't for that plot twist, it would be kind of boring. Looking for Alaska, I only read this now after like 10 years, but it was good. It was a 4-star read. I also read Where the Crawdads Sing. I don't have the book, I already sold it, but this was 5 stars and I really enjoyed reading it. What my thoughts were, okay, this was like a long review, but whatever, you're gonna listen through it because you've made it this far, might as well listen to more rambling. Can I just say that I really was immersed in the serenity Kaya found in nature. Kaya is our lead. Overall, I'd say that this was a 4.5 since the first few chapters were quite a drag for me, but it really does pick up after a while, and so a blooming 5 stars indeed. One moment you think it's a murder mystery that's gonna hook you, then you realize it's her survival and interactions, and you're rooting for her, that's gonna make you go on. Next is The Song of Achilles. 5 stars. I really did enjoy this book. Tragic, beautiful, loving. Patroclus is one loving, loyal man. Does Achilles deserve him? Probably not, but he's the only person who could even get close and give his love justice. I love that ending. It's so sad but deserving. Like, I don't know how else that would have been done better. The second book of Aristotle and Dante, which is one of my favorite books as well, I lent it to my friend Elle. Hi Elle, if you're watching this. So I'll just give like my review on it. The adults in this book, like especially if you have parents who are not really like open-minded, it's really gonna make you yearn to have resemblance of those parents. I love all the characters so much, and I don't mind that 70% of all of this is just all Ari and so little Dante, because as much as this is a love story, it's not all for the romance. The different types of relationships this book has explored, the issues this book talked about, the feelings this book can bring. I am so into it. And then we have We Should All Be Feminists, 5 stars as well. I love this book, and I am going to read my review to you because yes, it took me longer than expected for a 65-page book, because there were so many times that I would just put my Kindle down and have a 5-minute TED Talk on my own. I resonate so much with her thoughts. She's constructed all these strong points. Everyone, and I mean everyone, yes, including you, my dear watcher, everyone should read this. Did I say everyone? Everyone. The type of info that will really stick with you and make you want to change something about our society. She materialized all my thoughts into this one book. There's also a TED Talk of this exact book, so you can also listen to that and be just as stunned as I was. Favorite quotes are, culture does not make people. People make culture. Is it mentioned there that our culture naturally treats women like that? But it's not like that. It's not supposed to be like that. People make culture, and we can make those changes. A Little Life. My all-time favorite book. My favorite book ever. Look at that. Just look at that. It did a lot to me. Made me feel all possible emotions, and I still think about the characters after a while. I know it's a problematic book, and I would not recommend this to you. No, don't read it. Don't even try it. Don't think about it, okay? Don't read this book. But yeah, it's something that did work for me, and I love it. I want to talk about it more, but I don't know what to say. It's all feelings, you know, all vibes, all feelings. Okay, and now another favorite of mine is All Your Perfects, 5 stars as well. The book cover is not it. I kind of wish I got the other one, the purple one, but I guess without this, it's okay. But this is really good. I annotated it so much as well. One of my favorite romance. Yeah, my favorite romance, but it's not actually just romance. It's grief, and I love Quinn and Graham. Great couple. And then I read Archer's Voice, which I didn't like. It was a 1.75. Daisy Jones and the Six. I actually listened to the audio version. I actually listened to the audiobook of this, but I just needed to get a physical copy because I love this book so much. I didn't have like any notes on this one because I remember listening to this while I was on the way to Dubai. Well, I was in Dubai actually. Yeah, so like during bus rides or train rides, earphones on, and I will be listening to the audiobook of this. So good. And then I also read The Alchemist, which I gave 2 stars. I said I don't really get the hype, or maybe I've just heard too much of these inspirational messages that it didn't really struck with me that much anymore. It wasn't so moving as well, nor do you feel attached to anything, not even the plot or characters. Well, I guess it's still a classic. Good for those, like, yeah, as I said, like, probably I've heard too many similar messages as the one said in The Alchemist. Still, the message was there, and it's good to be reminded of that once in a while. Okay, so now to the good reads. Here, we have Aristotle and Dante discovers the secret of the universe. The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. Very fiction, just narrative. And at some point, it really made me question my reality. Like, could it possibly be true? But then you think, nah, this is fiction. But they say so many real life possible evidence that it makes you think, like, wait a minute, is this some conspiracy or shit? 5 out of freaking 5 stars. So what a way to start my reading journey, right? Okay, so that is the end of this video. Thank you so much, everyone, for sitting through the whole video. If you did, or if you didn't, then that's okay as well. I just really wanted to talk about the books I've read, and like, I thought about it and said, hey, I do have a platform. I have an ASMR channel, and I guess I can talk about the books while soft speaking, so technically it is ASMR, right? Say yes. Okay, so just so the video makes sense. Anyway, thank you so much again, and let me know if you want more videos like this. Probably not. I know. I'm going to go back to my typical videos, of course. I just really wanted to get this out of the way because it's been a long time coming, and every time, like, I think about, what if I make a video about books? Are people gonna like it? But whatever. I think this smile has been very prevalent for the entirety of the video. You can really see who's benefiting from this video. Is it actually you? Or was it just all me? It was just a ploy to entertain myself. No, but seriously, I'm just really happy this is done. I hope to see you in my next video. Feel free to interact with me if you want to talk about books. I love you guys, and good night. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.